Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your one channel for everything VR related. Today, we're checking out some of the best flat screen games that you can mod to play in VR right now. This list contains options for both Oculus Quest and PCVR, and I've also included some mods that are currently in development that you should keep your eye on. But before we jump in, this video is brought to you by Kiwi Design, your one-stop for all VR accessories. Are you looking for a Quest 2 Elite strap that won't suddenly snap on you? Or a face pad that won't irritate your skin? Well, Kiwi has you covered. They carry a large array of accessories from cable management systems to replacement facial covers. There are links in the description, and don't forget to use my affiliate code to help support this channel. Now, I previously made one of these videos almost 2 years ago, which I will link above. Today's video does include some of those original mods, mainly because they've either been updated or they're just so good you really have to try them. But I tried to keep today's list as fresh and as up to date as possible. So let's start things off with a real mod for GTA 5. GTA 5 is 8 years old and still incredibly popular. It's easily one of the biggest, most immersive, and expansive titles ever produced. So wanting to dive into this world through VR makes perfect sense. The GTA 5 mod lets you do just that, and while it isn't the easiest mod to set up, it's come a long way over time. There haven't been any recent updates, but the notes and information are kept up to date, and there's lots of help for the setup and plenty of additional tips. So go ahead, jump into GTA 5, steal a car, pick up some ladies, or maybe wreak some havoc with Trevor. Now if you're looking for something less violent, we have Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds is another hugely successful flat screen title. You journey through a solar system trapped in a time loop, and experiencing this from a VR perspective makes the whole world that much more beautiful. You'll also get something you rarely experience in VR, namely a deep storyline. The mod has all the options you'd expect from a native VR title. It's extremely easy to install, and it's just an amazing new way to experience this world. One thing to keep in mind though, this mod is not currently compatible with the Echoes of the Eye DLC. Now if you're looking for something more intense, we have GTFO. GTFO is a horror-themed 4-person co-op shooter. You play as a team of prisoners forced to explore and extract valuable artifacts from a vast underground complex that has been overrun by terrifying creatures. It's not for the faint of heart, and it's a real challenge to make it out alive. Technically, this game is still in early access, but in its current state, this is a solid mod which includes all of those features you expect to see in a VR title. You can play online with other people and they won't require any special mods, so if you think you're brave enough, go check this one out. Now if you're looking for a title where survival doesn't mean battling hordes of nightmarish creatures, we have Subnautica Below Zero. The original Subnautica had native VR support, but this was disabled for Below Zero. This mod returns VR support to the title, and even adds some features that weren't included in the original. Below Zero has you returning to planet 4546b, diving deeper than ever, building habitats and crafting tools to survive. Now this is a much more chill experience compared to the majority of other games on today's list, but some of these alien creatures still look quite menacing in VR. Now our next mod is for the intense action roguelike Risk of Rain 2. You'll be able to experience this third-person title from a whole new perspective. Join some fellow VR or flat screen players online and start taking down hordes of frenzied monsters. There's plenty of challenging combat and enormous bosses which are spectacular to behold in VR. This mod is currently still a work in progress, with a few features in an experimental state, but overall it's a great experience. Now our next mod is one of those classics I spoke about earlier, but I just absolutely had to include it on this list, and that is the Alien Isolation mod, Mother VR. Navigating a spaceship while being chased by androids and a xenomorph was already an extremely intense flat screen experience. Playing this in VR can be absolutely terrifying. The closest existing VR experiences include Jurassic World Aftermath, Westworld Awakening, and Wraith the Oblivion Afterlife. But these titles pale in comparison when it comes to things like graphics, gameplay length, and in most cases the overall fear factor. So if you think you can handle playing cat and mouse with a xenomorph, I highly recommend it. Okay, so all of the next mods will be playable on the Oculus Quest. And before we jump into my favorite one, we do have to mention Doom 3 because it's actually playable for both PCVR and the Oculus Quest. There's even an official version that was made for the PlayStation VR. So if you're looking for a lengthy single-player shooter campaign in VR, Doom 3 has you covered. This game is arguably better than some titles released specifically for VR, like Warhammer 40k Battle Sister and Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. The horror theme and fast-paced action works great in VR, and this port actually runs quite well. Okay, so let's move on to my favorite Quest VR port, and that's Lambda 1 VR. If you've never played the original Half-Life, I highly recommend it. It's been over 20 years since it's released, and it still remains one of the best shooters to date. Replaying this game in VR felt just as exciting as my original playthrough, and I can't recommend this title more. The installation of this mod requires files from the PC version of Half-Life, and it's a little complex, but lucky for you guys, I have a video on the install that I'll link up above. The next group of ports are all very similar. This includes the original Doom titles, Wolfenstein, Heretic, basically all the classic shooters I grew up on. They were a bit of nostalgic fun, and great to experience where shooters evolved from, but they don't hold up as well as Half-Life, or our next title, Return to Castle Wolfenstein. While this is still a fairly old game, it's a huge upgrade from the original Wolfenstein. So if you felt the need to kill some Nazis, but you prefer more of a sci-fi theme, rather than the recently released Sniper Elite, I recommend you give this game a try. These classic shooters have a distinctly different feel than titles that are being produced today. Okay, so I have a few more PCVR mods that are in development that I recommend you keep an eye on. The first one is for Mech Warrior 5. The combination of mechs and VR is something that has not been done enough. Mech Warrior 5 in VR offers up some amazing visuals and some serious immersion. But the current implementation of this mod only works while you're on mission, and it does have a few other issues. So basically right now you need to jump back and forth between flat screen and VR, which obviously isn't ideal, but this mod is showing some amazing potential. Another mod that's showing some serious promise is for Valheim. There are some known graphical and performance issues. The mod could be finicky if you don't start Steam VR before launching the game, but overall it's very close to turning this extremely successful open world co-op survival title into a full-fledged VR game. They recently added motion controller support, and I expect some more stable VR settings and controls to be on the way in the future. And finally, we have a mod for Red Dead Redemption 2. This is from the same developer that brought us the real GTA 5 mod. It's currently locked behind a Patreon paywall and in a beta state, but if you do want access to this project or just support it, there is a link below. Now, while turning another one of Rockstar Games' epic titles into a VR experience sounds awesome, it needs to come with a motion sickness warning. Between the intense gameplay and current state of the mod, you'll really want to have your VR legs before jumping into this one. Okay everybody, that was today's list of flat screen to VR mods. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And as always, I will see you guys on next time.